Hi, I'm Chris. You're watching PROVOST Park Pass, and today we're going to explore some more parts here in Amsterdam. We're going to go on a canal tour. I have to share something really funny. Remember how yesterday's video I talked about we met Details, this amazing podcaster. This is Michael. He's like this major celebrity here in the Netherlands. When they gave me these, they were so kind. Listen to that podcast. But they gave me these presents, and when I opened it up, there's 3 of these inside the present. And I didn't know what I was confused. I thought it was over here in Amsterdam. I thought it was a bike pump. And I think they could see my confusion in my face, like it's a water bottle. They really believe in clean recycling. Let me show you how cool this is. Okay, so you take the top off, you can just drink it like this, or you like this, you turn it, and then you could pour and you have a little cup. What? Oh my gosh. I think this is amazing. And these are like super popular here in the Netherlands. I mean, like everybody has these. I think they're awesome. And they're great because then you just set them down. They just stand right there. Awesome. We are walking here at what's called Vondelpark. We're going to go through a little walk and take you guys on a walk through the park here in the Netherlands. We're just kind of walking through this park. There's lots of greenery and of course there's lots of bikes. Look at this. It's a little windy today. I was told that there are more bikes here than there are people. And there are lots of bikes all over. There are just so many people out in the park just enjoying it. A lot of, yeah, they're exercising and.
Like, how would that be in our neighborhood if on Sunday mornings everyone just went out and went jogging and walking?
Yeah,
amazing.
it would be amazing. A lot of joggers, a lot of biking. Let's see over there. Oh, this is just amazing. So we're just here in the. This is kind of fun. We're just walking around. I saw a little kid riding a bicycle and he had a squirt gun. He was spraying all the women on the park benches. Moving over here. So I mean, it's just, I guess, normal life here in the Netherlands. They're enjoying this summer time. Okay, let's talk about what we got going on here. Today we're going to kind of explore. We're going to go to Anne Frank's house. My wife Amanda is, I was going to say a fan, but fan sounds like the wrong word. I think she's an admirer of Anne Frank. But maybe some of you don't know the story is, you know, they were here and during the German occupation, and they were hidden. They lived in this house and hid in this house, and eventually they were found. But she wrote in this diary about all the things that were going on. And she's kind of like this young girl writing this diary. And some of the things that she wrote about, like her mom, sometimes aren't always the most flattering. But she just was telling her feelings. She was talking about how hard it was. And it's quite moving. Go this way over here. It's a beautiful lake. It looks like a little church steeple over there. But we're just gonna keep walking over this way. It's on Disney Plus, I believe. You can watch the story about Anne Frank, but it's sad. But it's part of history that I think it's important to not forget history, and to, even if it's sad, sometimes it's important to remember it. We're off to a restaurant that Amanda's found. We're gonna go there and eat. Then we might try to go to the museum, and then we're gonna go to Anne Frank's house, and then we're gonna do a canal tour here in the evening. So just kind of buckle up, guys. We're gonna take you with us the whole day. Just here in the park. Looks like there's a little restaurant here in the park. And we turn right over there and look. It's beautiful. All right, we're like in the center of the park, and there's this little restaurant here. We're eating here at this restaurant, and we can order some good food. Look, guys, this is our table. We're way up here, overlooking this little terrace, and then there's that lake over there. It's a beautiful area. All right, I love these little bikes. See this right here? It's got the little kids in the front, a little carrier, and they drive along. I thought we were gonna do some shout outs, but well, first I was like, no, let's not do shout outs. We need to be like a theme park. But Amanda's like, I think some people would probably appreciate having shout outs in this beautiful area. So let's do a few of them here. You ready? I gotta take my glasses off because I gotta read off my wife's phone. Here we go. First shout out is from Maria R. Metal. Maria R. Metal, and all they said is thanks. Well, Maria, you are so welcome. This next shout out is for Lucille Gannon. Lucille Gannon is 6329, and Lucille says, thanks. My heart stopped when you drank water after you tried the hot sauce. Oh, yeah, that was what, at Animal Kingdom? Yeah. Chris, never drink water, drink milk to ease the heat. You and your family are awesome. Cannot thank you enough for this series. Oh, Lucille, you are so welcome. And it got so hot. My mouth was burning. Amanda would have loved it, but it was burning. This next shout out is for Yvette Christensen, and all they said is thanks. Yvette, you are very welcome. I hope you enjoyed the series. Next shout out is from Tink Disney. Tink Disney 2173 says, oh my gosh, Chris, you did it. Awesome job. Thank you so much for all that you have done these last 20 days, and always we enjoyed watching you share all the hotels and all your great information on each one. Now enjoy some time back home with Amanda and Miles. Well, I'm not back home, but I am enjoying time with Amanda and Miles. Thank you, Tink Disney. Okay, here's our last two shout outs for this video. Is Uper Gamer. Uper Gamer said, I'm talking to you, Chris. Yes, I'm talking to you. You make the world a better place. You have an authentic, positive spirit that is contagious. I've never met you in person, but it's clear that you're truly an authentic good person, not someone who just fakes it for the camera. This has been a great series and a great 20 days of watching you every day. I'll miss seeing you every day, but seeing your face after your wife and child left in that Uber from Saratoga Springs really showed how challenging this probably was for you. Safe travels home. Hope to see you someday when we come back to Orlando. Oh my gosh, that was such a hard day when Amanda and Miles left. My heart did shatter. And I hope, Uber Gamer, that someday we do meet in Orlando. And here's today's last shout out is from Malin 04008, and they said, summary of the last 20 days in my best PPP voice. I'm gonna do exactly how you want me to do it, Malin. Disney World has lots of resorts. Stay tuned for more obvious Disney tips. I'm glad you like the obvious Disney tips on our Instagram, Malin. Thank you guys so much for shout outs. Now let's get our food here and continue on with the day. Amanda ordered the avocado toast, and I have the eggs Benedict on a brioche bun. That's what Miles got too. You guys, this is so good. Guys, thank you so much for joining us here. It's a beautiful little day. It's got a little tiny breeze, but then all of a sudden the sun comes out and it feels really warm. Then the sun goes behind a cloud and then it gets a little cold, but it's very beautiful. But look at this. Gonzo. We got a little chocolate cake, and there's some whipped cream they put there, and then we're putting that on the chocolate cake. Miles is, okay, just eating the whipped cream. Okay. I literally have no idea what we're doing. We're just kind of following Amanda. She's just walking around, just kind of pointing at things. And Miles and I are just like, oh, okay, here we are. Now we're kind of by a street, and we're going to, I think we're going to the Van Gogh Museum, you said?
See if we have time. I don't know if we have time.
We don't have enough time. We're gonna go look at the Van Gogh Museum if there's enough time. But the most important thing is to go to Anne Frank's house for Amanda. That was the park we were at. We just walked up the stairs to get out of the park near this main road. But I mean, like, look at this. It's just constant bikes and joggers. Look at them go. Then we're gonna turn this way, and we got the city. Back to the park, city. It's just fascinating to me. You hear those sounds? That means it's time to cross. Definitely follow the rules here in traffic because people do not stop. We're walking along here as Amanda is explaining to Miles all about Anne Frank. Right behind me is the Van Gogh Museum, but it's sold out for today. And so we're gonna see, there's a bunch of other museums around here. We're gonna walk around and see if we can find one. If not, then we'll walk around and explore the city and then head over to Anne Frank's house. Okay, the museums were all pretty crowded, so we decided we're just gonna go down. Amanda wants to go look at some stuff downtown. We're gonna go get on this train right now. This little tram. Let's do it, we're gonna get on this. We're on this little train, and now we're going to, the station is called DAM, Dam. We are in the back row. There we go, and there's the other train. Just moving along. In Amsterdam. Okay, so when you come in, only those doors work to get on. There's a little lady there that you buy your ticket from once you're on. Then when you leave, you scan your tickets to get out. We got off, and this is like a big, I think it's a big shopping center. And then I'm just following Amanda and Miles. Amanda's walking this way. Okay, so Amanda saw this and she's like, let's go in there and get Miles some school clothes for next year. So that's what we're doing. We did. We went shopping. We got Miles a bunch of clothing. Well, not a bunch. We got him a couple outfits for when school starts. And Amanda loves the European look for little boys. Okay, here we are at Anne Frank's house. That's Anne Frank. All right, so these are the buildings here. And right here is where Anne Frank's house is. They built this building around her house to preserve it and to show what it was like. And you have to pay tickets to get inside it. Okay, see those 3 X's right there? That's a meaning here in Amsterdam. It's not triple X. It's that the Amsterdam has had 3 tragedies. The first tragedy was the flood. The city was completely flooded. The second tragedy is the city burned down. And so they actually passed a law that like a lot of the houses in Amsterdam can't be built with wood anymore. That's why there's so many brick houses, so there could be a fire. And the third X is for the plague, the Black Plague. It devastated Amsterdam. So a lot of times they'll say Amsterdam has those 3 X's: flood, burning, and plague. We're just waiting across the road. All the bikes. All right, we're gonna do a little canal tour like on one of these boats. We think this is our boat because the guy waved at us. I think this is what we're doing. Here comes our boat. We're getting on the boat. Oh. Here we are on the boat, guys. We're going all the way down here. Isn't this fun? We're gonna go right to the very back. Look, they brought us a little plate, a little treat plate. So the boat that we're on is one of the oldest boats on the canal. It's 106 years old. It's awesome. They also serve like wine, coffee, soft drinks as well. It has this little cheese platter they got for us. And then we go around the canal and they're going to tell us the history of Amsterdam. We just went through these little, keep going through these little tunnels, see? We are turning, instead of going straight, we're going to turn to this tiny little canal. Now we're going through the tunnel and then in this little tiny canal. Okay, so I'm learning a lot. They have a law that they can't change the outside of the buildings. They have to remain the same. That used to be a hospital. On the outside of it, it says the hospital for the sick. It's now a DJ and apartments, but they can't take that. It still says hospital because they can't change the anything on the outside. Also, the buildings here in the Netherlands are very tall and narrow. And the reason is because they would tax you on how wide your house was. And so the wider your house was, the more they tax you. So the way that people got around that is they make their houses very narrow, but then very tall, so you got taxed less. That's called the Skinny Bridge, and that is believed if you kiss somebody underneath that bridge, that your love will last forever. So Amanda and I kissed. Okay, so Pirates of the Caribbean, Captain Jack Sparrow is a pirate of the Black Pearl. It was based off of the ship called the Amsterdam. It's located here, obviously in Amsterdam.
Jack Sparrow, that boat is based on this one.
We're doing a little turn here in this little canal area. That's a church that Monet painted.
So we say they are dancing to the music of the Rembrandt Square, which is behind these houses, and that's one of the main party areas. We also call them the drunk houses.
They call it the dancing houses because it looks like they're dancing because they
the one
lean.
that's straight is actually an Irish pub. so we say that they can handle their liquor. And I know the most crooked.
These buildings are wider. This is the most expensive part of Amsterdam, and they made all their wealth through trading, and they were trying to show off. And remember how I talked about the wider your building, there's more taxes you have to pay? They make their buildings very wide to show that we can afford that. Look at this little house right there. It's a little, right there, that's one whole house, a little tall. Just green with a little sign there, that's a house. Apparently that house is the second smallest house here. You guys, this canal tour was so fun. I highly recommend it. It was it was great. And this is our captain, Isabel, and she is the youngest female captain, longboat captain here in Amsterdam. Amazing. And I have to introduce, this is Clayton. He was our host on Voyage Amsterdam, and you were so knowledgeable.
Phenomenal.
It was so wonderful. So request Clayton, ask for Clayton, Voyage Amsterdam.
Thank you
the
so
best
much.
host.
Lovely.
That tour was amazing. It was so much fun. We learned so much. I have to show you something that I learned. Here, Amanda. I loved
I
it.
loved it. It was lovely. Probably
It
my
was
favorite
amazing.
thing we did.
All right, let me show you something really cool about the buildings. We learned this. All right, we learned how that the buildings are tall and narrow to avoid taxes, but you see how the buildings kind of lean forward. And if you also notice, there's like little hooks there. They lean forward and there's hooks. The reason is that they would want to store the spices. You know, in Dutch here in the Netherlands, there was a big trading. They'd bring the spices in, of course, the flooding. So they would raise the spices and put them on the top floor, because if it flooded and your spices got wet, it'd ruin. It's like, think of it, it's your money. You're protecting your money. And the reason the building would lean out like that is because it would get kind of windy. So when they would raise the spices up, they wanted it away from the building so it wouldn't scrape against the building. And that's why the buildings lean out a little bit. And that's why they all have hooks, is because they put the spices on the top floor to keep them safe. And if any of you ever come out here to Amsterdam and want to do the canal tour, it's called Voyage Amsterdam. It's a brand new company, and it's a little smaller company, but they treat you so well. So I can't recommend them enough. So, all right, let's continue on with our day here in Amsterdam. Every single canal was hand dug. They're 3 meters or 10 feet deep. Okay, this is just me giving my own personal thoughts. And just so take that as a grain of salt. I'm not an expert in really very many things. This is just my thoughts. It's about travel. I would encourage you to travel. And some of you might be rolling your eyes like, oh, well, it's expensive. It is expensive. But I would try your best to put aside whatever you can, or try to save something to have those experiences of traveling. Traveling is something that I feel like enriches your experience in the world. You get to experience other cultures, you get to experience other things you don't normally get to do. And the best part about traveling is when it's over, years later, you still talk about it. Like Amanda will be laying in bed and late at night, and also she'll roll over and say, do you remember that time? And we'll laugh about something. So it is a little stressful to travel, especially going to a foreign country, because you don't know all the things that are going on there. But don't let fear be a decision maker for you. I don't think that's ever a really good policy. You should never let fear be the one that's helping you make decisions. Take a risk and travel. And start somewhere small, somewhere easy, and then save up and go again, and just try that. This is just my opinions, of course, but I found that my life has been more enriched by travel than almost anything else. I think it should be a priority for lots of people. Again, just my opinion. So, just my thoughts. All right, we're back in the park, guys. We're here in this beautiful park after a beautiful cruise and walking around Amsterdam. These parks are absolutely gorgeous. So it's 7 o'clock in the evening. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get up super early and take a flight to Germany, because we're going to be visiting the second most visited theme park in all of Europe. I won't say the name. Maybe somebody can guess and put it down in the comments, but we're going to visit the second most visited theme park in all of Germany. Actually, not all of Germany, in all of Europe. Hey, I want to take a quick moment and talk to you guys as I'm walking here in Amsterdam. And I am talking to you. I hope you know that you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. I want you to know that you are amazing. And if any of you who are maybe watching this video are going through a little bit of difficulty with health issues, or maybe you're feeling a little sad because of depression, or maybe a family member that you love or cherish has just been diagnosed with some unfortunate health news. That can be such a difficult thing. And there is no panacea, cure-all. There is no just, I wish I could wave a magic wand and take that pain away from you. But I want you to know that you are amazing, and you got this, and you make the world a better place. Don't forget that, ever. All right, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow when we travel to Europe, going to this amazing theme park and going to stay in a brand new hotel. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much. I also want to thank you for being here and hanging out with us here in Amsterdam. I was so much more comfortable having you with us. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Amsterdam is beautiful. Yes, it is. It is. It really is. Bum, 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 bum. We took a boat tour and saw all these cool buildings and learned so much cool history. I thought it was amazing, and it was Amanda's favorite part of being in Amsterdam. Amsterdam. Thank you, Patreons. We love you.